Good morning. My name is Sydney, and I would love for you to come along with me as I tell you about everything I have learned through my journey in this class. Looking back now, I realize how naive I was when I started this class. I thought race was something as simple as the color of your skin, whether you were black or white. Now I've realized that race doesn't actually exist. Instead, it's something that society has put on us to try to place us into categories. Just like Peggy McIntosh said in her article, I was taught to see racism only in individual acts of meanness, not in invisible systems. This is something I did not realize was happening. And as a future teacher, I realize that it's my job to get rid of these social inequities, to make it so that all children can learn in an equal environment, no matter what their race, no matter what their background. Look at these sodas in the vending machines. They're all different colors, right? And you admit that? Well, how is that any different when it comes to people? Taking away a soda's color would take away part of its identity, and it does the same thing when it comes to skin color. Think about where you came from, your family history. Chances are that has part of the reason to do of why your skin color is the way it is. And someone denying that would take away who you are, your culture, your heritage. Colorblind racism is wrong, and as Bonilla Silva pointed out in his 2006 article, let's not forget that a soft, colorblind approach to racial death still leads to death, as was stated on page 30 of the article. Look at how complex this whole system is. Race, diversity, even education is like this. And this is something that I'm going to have to deal with on a daily basis, so it's time to learn how. Let's look at how we can get in touch with our children and our students and understand what they go through every day. Maybe you, as the teacher, grew up in a place like this. Well, guess what? Your students didn't. And you have to learn how to share in the burden with them and understand what they went through in order to be able to reach your audience. Given the fact that I've grown up in an environment that's so different from many of my students, this article made me realize that I'm going to need to find a way to keep in touch with them and understand where they come from. And if I can do that and really listen to my students and where they come from and hear their stories, I will hopefully be able to reach them on a really deep level of teaching in the classroom that they can understand and feel like they are a part of the classroom.
Education is not a factory job. Kids are not cars. They're not pencils, they're not desks, they are people.
People always ask the question, what's more important, test scores or relationship? Sometimes you can't get the scores or the academics, or you can't even get through a lesson if you don't have like the relationships developed.
I was thinking the other day, I am here long hours because I never do the same thing every single year. I don't do that. And it's because I have a different set of children every single year. And they always have, different needs, different strengths, different weaknesses.
Education as a whole has a huge job. And there's no way that one structure is going to meet the needs of any group of children. And that we have to be able to be flexible in our thinking of how kids learn.
What I want them to know is that you can't just have a plan, a blanket statement for everyone.
Each child comes with gifts. And I think some of those children that seem so undervalued have some of the greatest gifts. But I think our job as educators is to seek that out.
Now that I've learned about all of the complexities that are involved in a classroom and the children in it, as well as all of the different stories and backgrounds that my children are going to come from, the next step is for me to learn how to show my love to my students and to really be the best teacher I can be.
So beautiful, to me. You are so beautiful, to me. Can't you see?
Just like UEDU said, caring is about so much more than just giving a student a hug or a pat on the back. It's about wholeheartedly believing in them with everything that you have, knowing that they will succeed, and knowing that you will do everything that you can to make sure that that happens. Thank you for joining me as I've told you about my journey in this class. I have learned so much, and I've really grown as a person, and I can't wait to put this all to use in the classroom one day. Just thinking about it, wow, it's going to be so neat to change so many lives of all of these students, and now I really know how.